Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson. We are here with Paula M. and Heather from the Hood. And tonight we're going to be delving into all the royal shenanigans. And of course, there's been some unmissable news this week about Epstein, his client list. Obviously, we've had multiple conversations about Virginia and the suspiciousness of a lot of actions that have taken place this year, shall we say. But before we get into all that, Paula, how are you? Looking fabulous. What's been going on this week? Fill us in.
I've been doing great. Thank you, honey. How are you?
I'm all right. It's a bit of a stressful, tough month for me, this one. And it's a bit of a low day today, but we are here and we're going to be cracking on. So, yeah. What's been happening with you? What's been happening with you content-wise as well this week, Paula?
Well, I talked about yesterday. I did a video because there's a secret bank account that I heard that, and now it's really funny because the Radar Online is saying that Doria walked out on Meghan Markle while Meghan Markle is pleading for her not to leave. But in my video yesterday, I talked about how there's a secret bank account in the name of Doria and Meghan Markle.
Okay.
And how Meghan Markle has failed to disclose or to file the income tax reports for 2023 and 2024 Archewell Foundation. And now the Radar Online is, and I talk about how there's a lot of discord between Meghan Markle and her mom. And now Radar Online comes out with the news that apparently Meghan was heard shouting that her mom moved out of the mansion, because I mean, it wouldn't be surprising that Doria does that. I mean, she left Meghan when she was like 3, 4. So yes. Yeah. So that's what I've been talking about. And today I'm going to have a very, very, very good video about Jeffrey Epstein and when he was really killed and the link to Meghan Markle.
Okay, interesting. Because we had a wee conversation with that a couple of weeks ago. So we won't be touching on that. But Heather, lovely to meet you. Loving the butterflies. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how's your week been?
Oh, my week's been all right. Yeah, no, it's good. It's nice and sunny here in Vancouver, Canada. And yeah, like Harry and Meghan just give me life because I have no life, as it gets pointed out to me all the time. I'm like, I'm not new. I know. So, but gift that keeps on giving. And I like the whole Doria thing, because I think the last time we saw her is when she didn't like that. What would she have, like the pudding? And she didn't go all out and be like, oh, this is the best thing ever. That's the last time we saw her. And Meghan was choked. So maybe she took the money and ran. Swiss bank accounts, offshore bank accounts.
Well, you know that I wrote her because when you go to the elderly loving care home, I talked about it yesterday in my video and I showed the website. It is very deceptive the way it talks, because you would think of an actual physical facility for the elderly, right? But it's not. What she does is, and you click on the link, and then the first thing they ask you is your zip code. You ask for a consultation, you leave your information, blah, blah, blah. And then she will respond to you, because the response I got was from her iPhone saying, can you please send me a zip code? Because then she determines, see, the zip code in the United States tells, especially in California, it tells you if you're in a wealthy area or not.
Okay.
And this woman also, the elderly home and stuff like that, they look at, what you might call it, she looks after the elder population that are very vulnerable. She preys on them. So she comes to their home, and she and Meghan Markle's really shady, Rick Jenow, who's very shady. They can do power of attorney. They can do conservatorships in Doria's name. So basically, she would come and take over everything that belongs to this very elderly, frail people.
Okay.
And let's not forget how her father died under very mysterious circumstances.
Are you saying Doria has power to take power of attorney over people? Are you talking about Meghan has
Well,
power.
the services that they offer, the loving, I'm going to show it to you here so you can see it.
That is super
Loving.
shady. Someone just said that. Anne, yes, shady.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's called the Loving Kindness Senior Management.
Oh,
Loving
yeah.
Kindness Senior.
Yeah, beware of anything
Senior,
that has that many words in its title. The super awesome, we'll take care of you, mega awesome fan club. Yeah, doesn't sound sus at all.
No, yeah. And I'm going to show you her website here. I'm going to share it for you. And I did a video about it. Please go watch it because this is really incredible. And now Radar Online is coming that the relationship between Meghan Markle and her mom is broken down and she was her. So this is the actual website, Loving Kindness Senior Care Management, providing a holistic approach to senior care management. The capacity to care is the thing which gives life its deepest significance. By Pablo Casals. Of course, it's Meghan Markle. And this was set up, and this is set up in Delaware by the same lawyer that set up all of Meghan Markle bogus Archewell things, and they don't have a public, they don't have a physical office, right? So you see, they say that we advocate and coordinate life care needs for your loved ones. Okay, and then look at this. The elderly population is growing and will soon be the largest population in need of supportive services. With chronic illnesses and disabilities on the rise, we can expect that more and more people will need care and assistance from family, right? And then they go about that. This is where you reach out for a consultation, right? It's not like you have a place to go. This is our clinic. This is what, no. You reach out for a consultation, you click there, it'll take you to an email. And then they say the common concerns, we address and manage the following. And this is very important here. I talked about it in my video yesterday. Is my loved one safe? Not with Doria. Does my loved one have emotional support? Clearly not if they're living on their own. So this is basically for children. Let's say if your grandparents live in California and you're in Ohio, you know. Are they risk for falls? Please keep that in mind.
Yeah, Shane, if you're watching this, one more fall and we're going to slap you with this, mate. Okay. One of our mods, bless him. Big shout out to Shane. We all love you.
Yeah. And then are they becoming forgetful and confused? Are their medications being managed? Do they have adequate support? But this is the part that should. And then they go interested in learning. This is pretty much the same thing. When you click on this, it'll take you to the same website, an email, right? And you click on that. And then you go, this is services can include, but not limited to the following. And then they have medication management, responding to medical emergencies on call. But this is the part that should set alarms for anybody. Additional services, which is coordinate legal services for elder law, conservatorship, living trust, durable power of attorney. And this is, of course, done with Rick Genow, who's this really shady guy who does all the setup. And the address for this company that set up Loving Kindness Senior Care is his office. Just like Archewell Foundation doesn't have any offices. Remember that French documentary? They had no office.
Right.
So they don't have, she doesn't have an office. Okay, and then you go, be assured your healthcare needs are always managed with dignity and respect. Keep in mind that Doria doesn't really have a healthcare professional license because she was actually in the process of getting it when she quit. LKSMC, which is loving whatever kindness, because the word kindness has, is a private pay service provider. They only accept cash. And then you can get scheduled complimentary phone consultation, and you get Doria's.
They only accept cash.
Because then it's not trained.
How would you charge? How can you only accept cash?
It's not on the books. It's not on the books.
The only thing more sus than would be like if we only accept Dogecoin. You know what I'm saying?
George, I sent you the link on X if you want to join us.
Yeah, this is right.
So they only accept cash, but the problem is that Meghan Markle has not filed. If you don't go to the Archewell because they mind your thing. She has an impact report from 2023 that looks legal, which is a 990 form. But if you go to the actual IRS website, the 2023 nor the 2024 have not been filed. tax returns. And when you request her, because they are a public charity, any citizen of the United States, any resident of the United States can request Archewell send them a copy of their tax returns properly filed. And by law, they have to supply it. They haven't been able to send it to all the YouTubers who have requested it. And what they do is they direct you to go to their website, which is not legal. They, by law, have to send you a copy of the filed tax return with the IRS. And from what I understand, it's because they haven't been able to justify. They were supposed to show $4 million that are now that are not whatchamacallit, that are not they haven't filed it. They haven't
Not
filed
accounted
it.
for?
Yeah, they're not accounted. They were supposed to show it, but they didn't show it. I'll show it to you. I'll show you the article right now, right? So you can see it. They were supposed to file it. This article was published last year in November. So it's not from a long time ago. This is November last year because they still haven't filed their 2023 tax returns. And with public charities, you only have up to 3 years before your charity gets dissolved and you get penal. I'm sharing the website, Ron, if you're there.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
The mystery of Harry and Meghan's tax return. Archewell Foundation promised to declare $4 million charity donation, but has yet to post latest records publicly. As I said, when they say publicly, they mean to the IRS, because Meghan has posted an impact report on their website, but you can put anything on your website. Okay? And what they say here is that it will appear. It says the charity raised eyebrows when Mail Online reported that $4 million had not been declared. And it wasn't actually 4, it's actually 6, which is called a 990 form, because Fidelity Charitable reported in their tax returns that they're the ones who donated the $6 million, not 4. Right? And Meghan Markle completely ignores those $6 million. In the 990 form they have on their website, not on the IRS. Please understand that there's a huge difference. I can fill it out, I can change it, I can refill it, but what I mean is the ones reported on the IRS website on the page, because it's a public charity, that's the one that counts, and they haven't been filed. See, this is Fidelity Charitable here. You see that, Ron?
Yeah, I see it. But they like, well, their last charity never got anything. There was issues with their last charity's taxes too, right?
Well, the last time they filed income tax to report to the IRS was in 2022. They haven't filed their 2023 nor their 2024. And the impact report that they posted under Archewell Foundation, this is Fidelity Charitable, which is a huge organization that what it does is very shady, in my very humble opinion, because basically, if you want to be an anonymous donor, let's say that Charles wants to donate $6 million to his son, to Archewell Foundation, but he doesn't want to be seen in his name, so he donates it to Fidelity Charitable. And Fidelity Charitable is an organization that they get money from different donors, and then they donate it to different organizations.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, so Fidelity Charitable reported on their tax return that they donated to Archewell Foundation $6 million.
So they're laundering money?
Wow.
I don't know what they're doing, but Meghan Markle, yes, you see it's right here.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know whatever I'm supposed to say. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, and then you have this here, that's a return organization, blah, blah, blah. This is, I mean, they have everything because they have to be above board, clearly, right? Because that's a lot of money. And they could lose, whatchamacallit, they could lose their donation thing if they don't do that. So that's what they donated. She said that's an issue. There are penalties for late filings, but in the United States, if a public charity doesn't file taxes for 3 years in a row, they lose their tax exempt status and they're automatically revoked.
Ronnie's asking, wasn't she jailed for fraud before? I'm assuming she's meaning
Doria.
Doria, yeah.
Well, we know for a fact that she has a civil lawsuit in 1996 of eviction, and that after that she went to live with her father. Prior between 1989 and 1996, there's nothing of Doria. There's no whereabouts. There's nothing of her. Not even credit card transactions. Nothing. And then in 1996, she had been living for a whole year at this location, and she was sued for eviction. And she lost the case, and then she went to live with her father, and then her father tripped on a dog leash. Nobody saw it. He fell on grass, and he died of a head injury.
Wait.
And
He tripped on a dog leash.
yeah.
What was a
Yeah.
dog leash attached to like the back of a moving car?
Nope.
Or
Nope, nothing. And he fell on grass. Nobody saw what happened.
he fell on grass.
Yeah, on the front of the lawn. He didn't even fall on the concrete. And the thing is, because nobody saw it, the autopsy said that even though the injuries didn't quite match with that kind of fall, they ruled it out an accident because, it's a black gentleman. This is Meghan Markle's thing, right? Where you see, this is Archewell. They don't declare the $6 million. People wrongly assume, and I did a video about this because Daily Mail, they're very lazy, right? This is a different donation. This 2,911,000, that's from different donations. 6 million, they only report 5 million. They don't report so this is why they say 4 million. And I wonder who's doing their journalism, because actually they reported 5 million, not 2. You see, and this is what they have. You see the difference here? You see, here's the View Our 2022 Form 990. This is the one that's legally filed with the IRS and accepted. But then you have the impact report, but not the actual form, which has been accepted by the IRS. They're already late by 2 years. They're going on their 3rd year now because they fell delinquent because they didn't file the 2024. They requested an extension in 2023 to file the 2023 with the Department of Justice in California, and they were given till May 15th to do it. When they didn't get it, that's when an automatic letter of delinquency was sent to them, which became news. And then we had, of course, the governor of California saying, no, that's the DOJ, guys. That's the DOJ. They made a mistake. The check is in the mail. It was not about the check per se because it's only $200. It's the report that they still haven't filed it. You see, and this is after they received an extension. They were supposed to file the 2024 as well on May 25th. And if you go to the Department of Justice, it doesn't say they didn't request an extension or anything. So they're already 2 years delinquent. And they're starting their 3rd year. Because you see, charity goes from the 1st of January till the 31st of December. That's the fiscal year for public charities. So, and I did a video because, yes, my video yesterday, by the way, guys, is that apparently there are quite a few millions missing because apparently they donated to Doria's elder living home care thing, a few millions.
Donated.
Apparently, yes. And this is why they haven't been able to get the posted tax return, because they have to justify how they donated to Joe Biden's daughter $250,000 to an organization she hasn't even built, which is really a spa. And Joe Biden posted it, but when she posted her IRS, she didn't reflect that Meghan Markle had given her or the Archewell Foundation had given them $250,000. But Meghan Markle in her impact report, not the actual tax report to the IRS, stated that she had given Joe Biden's daughter $250,000, which is one of the largest donations she's given.
Okay, so I have a question though. When you donate money to a charity and you get a tax receipt, you get a kickback. when you file your taxes at the end of the year for making that donation. So why wouldn't you file your taxes? Because then you'd get money back.
No, but this is the different thing. You see, Meghan Markle, Archewell is a charity in itself. They're receiving funds themselves to donate to other charities and other organizations, right? So they are, because they are exempt from paying taxes from any money they get. They've gotten millions. The last time they got in 2020 that we know for a fact is in 2023, they got the $6 million from Fidelity Charitable, which I managed to trace all the way to BlackRock and USAID, because all these people donate. This is one of the biggest, it partly owned by BlackRock. It's a form of charity thing that people, you donate to them. If you don't want to donate to a company yourself, what you say is like, okay, I'm going to give money to Fidelity Charitable, but I want to remain anonymous. But you do get the receipt from Fidelity Charitable, and then Fidelity Charitable distributed to other charity organizations.
Yeah, this
You
is
see?
this is just never ending, like, suspicious, cover up, dodgy behavior from these two. These two should be the furthest thing from charities, and they certainly certainly shouldn't be involved or have any of their family involved in any businesses that take over the well-being of wealthy, vulnerable individuals.
Yeah, she's preying on the elderly. Now she's preying on the elderly, and it's all cash only. And this is the thing I'm sharing an article with you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The tragedy of Meghan Markle's mother, Doria Ragland, is so sad.
Is it?
So sad.
Is it though?
Yeah. Go watch my video yesterday. I did. Doria Ragland lost her father in a tragic accident. You see, and by the way, this is Doria's grandmother. This is Doria's mom, right? This is Doria's mom on the mother's side.
Okay.
Well, her mom and father are half brother and sister. Okay. So, and then we have here, this is Doria Ragland had trouble marriage with Thomas Markle. But I mean, I can show you the front lawn of the house. The front lawn, because the gentleman, you see, nobody saw him fall, Ron, but he was found face down on the grass.
Yeah, that whose death is ruled tripping over dog leash? No one.
And not only that. I mean, I don't know about you. But if my father died and tripped over a very short dog leash, this is a very fit man. I'm sharing with you this. Okay, I'm going to show you where he was found. Okay.
I would
Where this gentleman was. This is where he was found. Are you showing this?
Hang on.
But to be fair, though, if you hit your head, like you could, like, playing devil's advocate, right? Like, you hit your head good enough.
From a dog leash.
Totally.
But then you think it would be on the report, like head wound. So like, I don't know.
100%. If we're talking about blunt force trauma and concrete, right? Like, you could totally tangle yourself in a dog leash and fall with such a force that you could definitely do that. But I mean, you're talking.
He fell here. This is where he was found, on dirt, soft soil, which back then had grass.
See, I just that is odd to me, because I have watched. I mean, you ever seen these big like power kites? If you see people down on the beach with them, they're like 2-3 meter wide kites, and they'll lift you off the ground, and you can use them for surfing, and they've got little buggies and things like this. Like, I have literally watched people be pulled up into the air and slammed head first into the sand, right? And I mean, it looks like I've seen horrific concussions, all of it. And we have to just assume that a kite is like a mega powered super dog leash, okay? So it's a bit odd. that's a bit odd that you could trip on a dog leash unless you simultaneously like had a heart attack as you were tripping and hitting your head. Maybe it was like maybe his time was up and he just so happened to be tripping over a dog leash at the time. I don't know, but that is some BS.
Her father was actually a very fit man, and I mean, I don't know about you. Okay, I'm going to show you something that to me is very psychotic, because if my father, may he rest in peace, had tripped with those dog leashes, right? I can tell you that I would have burnt the crap out of them, and I would not want to have them around anywhere, right? I wouldn't want to have them around, would you? Something that reminds you. So those are the dogs. I'm showing you the picture. Ron, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Madman.
So that's the picture with the dogs. And those are the same leashes after her father died that she still uses.
Yeah, nah, I'm not buying it. This is impossible. Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was like a long leash or anything like that. These are like hand leashes, you know, like I don't even know how I'm going to trip like that. I walk city all the time, and her father was very strong. I mean, no, that's not Big Mike, PT. I have to do a live with so no, that's not Big Mike. Yeah, that's Doria. You know, and those are the dogs, and those are the leashes. I would have burnt those leashes. I mean, I don't know about you, Andrew, but you know. Hello.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about burning the dog
Whatever,
leashes.
her dad died
You
or
often
died,
hear
or-
of psychopaths keeping trophies. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, they do. I mean, you know, like the killers will keep trinkets and stuff from their victims, but what's the story on it? Did she kill her dad or something?
Well, those are the leashes that her father tripped on, those very same dog leashes, and he was found. Nobody saw what happened. The neighbors didn't see what happened, but he was found by a neighbor around midday, a little bit after midday, on the grass. And he still was holding the dog leashes in his hands. They were not around the ankles or anything like that. You know, so I don't know how he could have tripped if he was holding the dog leashes, but because nobody saw anything, and the autopsy report said that, yeah, it kind of didn't really match the injuries, but you know, since there's no witness or anything, and you know, we're going to rule it out an incident. It's just a black gentleman, you know. I'm sorry to say this, you know. So they just ruled it an accident, but they did put in the autopsy report that there were some inconsistencies because, you know, he didn't fall in the concrete. He fell, and then Doria removed all the grass, and now it's only soil. But before, there used to be grass there. And she inherited the house.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know, but you know that's what's happening. And did you see the thing on Radar Online that apparently Meghan Markle is begging her mom not to leave her? Did you see that, Andrew?
Oh, I mean, Radar Online's pretty good. I haven't seen that. No. Leave where? Where's she gonna go? I mean,
Apparently she left the home.
Well,
She
Harry
left the
has money.
Montecito mansion.
Oh, I mean, if your mother-in-law leaves, good riddance. Harry's probably happy. You know, weren't you the one that's saying that they would like drug him, no? Together. You know,
Well,
she beats him.
but how I mean, if Doria jumps ship, it's not the first time that she's abandoned Meghan Markle.
Oh no! Last time I read, that was a video I did on YouTube. I think it was 2 weeks ago. There was a piece that they put out. It was in one of the publications, and it had only Doria. It didn't even talk about Thomas Markle Sr. And they literally made it seem as if Doria was her parent, like that. None of that shit happened. So they're still pushing it. Even and I don't even think the public knows. Like, the only people that know about that woman are us. You know, the people out in the public, they just know, oh, that's Meghan's mom. Oh, this, and this. No, I mean, that woman, she went away. No,
Doria?
yeah, she left. She was gone when Meghan was 10.
No, not when she was 10, when she was 4.
Oh, well, yeah, from 4 to 10 or something. And then she lived
From
with
4
the
to
dad.
16.
Yeah, there we go. And she lived with the dad the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So
She lived from 4 to 16 because the high school teachers had never seen her. They met her the first time for her graduation. And that's when they found out that Meghan Markle's mom was Black. The high school teacher, you know, she's on, when Meghan got engaged to Harry, they all talk about it. They gave an interview, you know how they interviewed them, and they said that we didn't even know she was Black. We thought she was Italian. And then they were shocked when they met the mother at graduation.
Do you want me to pull up your screen, Paula?
Yes, please.
I just want to apologize to everybody for my low energy this evening. July is a bit of a tough month for me, so I just want to apologize for my lack
I'm hungry now with a pizza.
Ron isn't Ronin right now, sadly. He's not Ronin. But I appreciate you all, and thank you for all for being here. Please like and subscribe. Please make sure you find everyone's links that are on the panel as well. And the mods have tracked down Heather's link for us. Thank you very much, mods. You are a legend. I don't know if I'll make sure it's in the description as well for everybody. But and also Andrew, welcome to the panel as well, mate. Hope you're doing well.
what's happening?
Yeah. That's kind of my report too. How are you doing? Well, I'm breathing. Like, what else do you want from me? Like, that's where I'm at today. Do you know what I mean?
LIVIN.
It's just, honestly, you ever wanted to scream so loud that you just explode yourself mid-scream? You ever wanted to just, like, vaporize?
You gotta hit the bag,
yourself?
man. You gotta hit the punchy bag.
Nah, I need my hands, man. I'll stave a finger and then I'll just, like, it'll be worse. I'll be more angry at myself.
Yeah, you know, it's very interesting that Virginia Giuffre lawyers suggest calling Meghan Markle to testify in Prince Andrew case, guys. That's that. We're talking now because of the Epstein thing, right? This is for reals. Virginia Roberts' lawyer came and they gave a press conference. This is in all the newspapers. You can go talk about it. And they say that Meghan Markle may be called to depose over legal actions against Prince Andrew, said the lawyer of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who has accused the Prince of SA when she was 17. And then they go on and say Ms. Markle could have some important knowledge. The lawyer said the attorney representing Ms. Giuffre told the Daily Beast on Tuesday. He said that he might seek to depose Ms. Markle as part of the civil suit slapped against the prince by Virginia, and said he believed Ms. Markle could be expected to tell the truth. She's somebody we can count on to tell the truth here. He also believed that she might have picked up some important knowledge about the royals' behavior. He said Ms. Markle was a close companion to Prince Andrew and therefore saw what he did. He also cited 3 reasons for Ms. Markle to be a potential deposition subject. 1, she is in the U.S., so we have jurisdiction over her. 2, she is somebody who obviously, at least for a period of time, was a close associate of Prince Andrew and hence is in a position to perhaps have seen what he did. And perhaps if not,
mad. That is mad.
Perhaps if not, to have seen what he did, to have heard people talk about it. Because of her past association with him, she may very well have important knowledge and will certainly have some knowledge. And 3, she's somebody who can count on to tell the truth. I think they were blackmailing her because, you know.
Yeah, it all sounded like it could have been somebody who really knew Meghan there until right at the end. So that is crazy. So when Paula told me about this, like, what we're talking about here is Meghan Markle possibly being witness to the same things that Virginia was.
She was around there.
it would have possibly been pulled up to the stand, right? Now, Paula, Paula and I were talking, and there was kind of rumors that these two could have possibly been in touch with each other, right? Virginia.
Up until mid-March this year, by text
Okay.
only.
Okay. So, and I'm just throwing this out there, everybody, okay? But Meghan Markle ran away from the royal family with Harry, okay? For whatever reasons. Then we have the whole man on the island case. We have the shady past of Meghan Markle. Now, what team does that put Meghan Markle on when it comes to the island story? Because it sounds to me like she is on the same side as the prince, and is there. I mean, what did it give any context as to why that she was there? Or is it just because she hung around the prince so much?
Well, there was a past association. Don't forget that they're very specific that that Meghan. I mean, the words are there. They're not saying that because she just met him and she became a member of the royal family. That's not what they're saying, are they?
I don't think so.
Well, the
No,
narrative
I mean-
that Meghan knew him, Meghan banged him, and then Harry got his seconds. That's the narrative.
Hang on a second. Let me just throw up the old. This is. Oh no! Wait.
Allegedly, yeah.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Allegedly.
Alleged. It's all right. We've got
I
the
mean,
big.
that's the narrative that everybody knows of. It's
Yeah.
you know, Meghan was Andrew's seconds.
Yeah, but that's like, it's crazy.
It's not too far fetched if you think about it, because if she was chasing after rich men, you know, the yacht girl
No,
thing.
that's not the shocking part. The shocking part is could have been brought into the Epstein case as a witness. That's the part that kind of blows my mind a
Yeah,
little.
because it's all connected. When you're in that game,
Right.
that yacht girl game, that's
Right.
what that is.
So could we not argue then that Meghan, now that she's not part of the royals, could equally be seen as a loose end? Because
No, I
do
mean,
you think-
maybe, but
well, do you think
I can
that,
see what you're saying is why they're so worried about security. Maybe.
I mean, there's definitely a difference between yacht girl and 17-year-old groomed traffic victim. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if they're both doing kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So she may just be in more of the old voluntary service. If that
Yeah.
makes
Well,
sense.
there's even photos of that woman. There's that woman, Paula. What's her name? The one that connects her to him.
Karina Shuliak. That was
That
his
one.
last girlfriend. I have the picture. I'll show it, but I want to show you
there's
something
pictures
before
of
that.
woman,
Yeah,
and
I showed
you know,
you.
it's very obvious that Meghan was in those circles.
Hmm.
So this isn't something where it's just us making it up on YouTube.
Oh, no, of
This
course
is
not.
real. You know, this is
This is
real
real.
stuff.
But here, Andrew, you don't have to worry about anything because
Here.
there isn't Epstein doesn't have any clients. So
Yeah,
you don't
I
have
know,
to
wanna-
worry.
right?
Can you share
And
that
it's
part of
and
the
that's why
screen?
when y'all were talking about it, I was like, that's already kind of over. There was even pieces in the press talking about how Andrew is scot-free.
Do you not think it's mad? This is the only time that I think America has tried to pull a swift one on the world without invading a nation first, right? Like do you know, like remember the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal? Bosh, let's head back into Iraq. You know, they love to do that, but at least they gave us something to distract us. You know, I feel like is the Epstein list the distraction from what the Diddy sentencing is going to be? Like, are we about to be told that Diddy's getting done with time served? Is Diddy already out? Have we missed it? Like, I don't know. But there's something going on with this, Andrew, because to tell us,
he gets sentenced soon. But yeah, I get you.
like, to have the whole presidential campaign for Trump to be elect me, I will show you the lists. Okay, then you join forces with basically the super nerd of the planet, Elon Musk. Okay, you become best friends with him. He then becomes your non-mainstream, unmainstream, weird meme guy on the internet that's given full legitimacy to a whole new generation of voters for Trump. Then, apparently, just out of nowhere, the FBI goes on the Joe Rogan show, says that Epstein couldn't possibly have been, suspiciously unalived. That around about the same time, then Elon is posting that Trump is on the client list, and that's why he's not wanting to show anyone. And then 3 weeks after that, we're told the clients list never existed. Like this is. If they get away with this is proper scary stuff, man. Like if they get away with all of this, bro, there's no going back. There's no going back. Trump. Wait. I've got a better one for you though. So I was trying to think about this earlier as to how could all of this have happened and Trump just be like lying to everyone's faces. And
that one's pretty easy to see actually, because he keeps the evidence for himself. He blackmails all the people himself, and he wants to get his America First agenda through.
Yeah, why? Because they're pissed off.
You know.
It could be that, right?
So I mean that's because if you have that information on those people, right? What would be better than telling the public? Well, keeping it for yourself and using it.
Well, yeah. But the problem is he made multiple copies and folders of it and waved it about in front of people. So we kind of know that it's out there, and we kind of know that a bunch of people have seen it. So I imagine at some point, if a bunch of people get blackmailed, someone's going to say something and then get food poisoning, if you know what I'm saying. So also, welcome, Lady Letitia. Welcome. I'll get to your hellos in just a second. But Andrew, like,
But you're also forgetting one thing. He doesn't have to be reelected. See, it's very different when you're going from a first administration to a second administration. This time, he's not fighting for a reelection in 2028. He can do whatever the shit he wants. So it doesn't matter if people are pissed off with him. If people are mad, that's their business. He knows that as the president, he's going to do whatever he wants because he's got 3 years left to really fuck shit up. Excuse me, but you know what I mean.
You're right.
I'm with you, but I don't know if I'm buying it. I just don't know.
It's because it's too easy. That's what.
It could be. It could be that. It could be that it's so obvious.
Well, he's trying not to get out of office too. He's trying to be in there forever. They're gonna try to. He's gonna probably try to put something in law where he doesn't.
The third election is just a talking point from the left. He wasn't serious. He's just.
Do you think there's any way possible that Trump was totally blindsided with all this?
No.
Nah.
He knows.
There's no hope for me, right? I cannot, in my head, I'm just trying to convince myself that Trump didn't lie to all of our faces.
No,
I'm not really convinced now that he got shot in the ear. Like, I don't even think I remember that properly. Like, I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. If it wasn't for the poor freaking fireman that lost his life, like, I'm sure a lot of people would be questioning that, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Also, why aren't we questioning that? Was it not like a 14-year-old kid that, like, walked a rifle into a political... Anyway, that was a whole madness.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
But yeah, Trump definitely knows. I know. It's like when I try and convince myself
to know that he's on the list.
Yeah, right. It's like every time I've got to remind myself that yes, sadly, Taylor Swift probably is one of the evil satanic witches of Hollywood, and I just have to admit it. Do you know what I'm saying? But we take her out last, okay? We take her out last. I'm telling you now, we take her out last. That's the deal.
And what people forget, what one of the main things that people don't understand is Ron Burkle, who was very good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. And Ron Burkle is the owner of Soho House, where Meghan Markle kept her suitcases for many weeks in advance. and Meghan Markle flew to Jamaica in 2017 on a private jet that was Ron Burkle's to meet Harry or to crash the wedding. And she flew on a private jet. Okay, so Ron Burkle was very good friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and Ron Burkle is also the godfather to Diddy's twin girls, I believe. And if you look at this, although Ron Burkle is an investor in Archewell because he invests in Archewell, he's the owner of Soho House. He's a billionaire.
Yeah, but that's what they said the whole Diddy.
Audience.
They said the whole
Yes,
Diddy
Jim.
trial was the purpose was for the Diddy trial was to clean up evidence. That was the point. So when you think about the Diddy trial, why do you think he didn't get all the main charges? The charges that he got compared to what he could have was a joke.
Right. Do you know,
So
Andrew? Do you know what? I've seen a pattern in Hollywood cases where the main focus is to erase any possible charge that can link to RICO, that can link to a global syndicate or elitist PDF group. Anything that can remotely look like that is completely wiped from these cases, and it's then they want to whittle it down to, oh no, he's just a pervert, right? Rather than he's a global predatory monster. Because we're going to find out that, hey, listen, yeah, those girls did probably go to Epstein Island, but they were all for Jeffrey. He was just a bit of a little scallywag. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're heading towards, because that's what we've been hit with in the Diddy case. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the equivalent of, you know, having someone go from your house at a party to pick up a lady of the evening in a car to drive them back to the house again, and then everything going mad, and it just so happening because you've been in a car and driven somewhere that's transporting. Do you see what I mean? It couldn't be any more of do you know what it's like? And I gave this analogy. It's like me driving my car through your house, Andrew, and me just being done with trespassing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's and just be like, oh, sorry, Andrew, mate. I'll see you later. Don't mean to leave you to deal with all of this. Do you know what I mean? Sorry for the trespassing. Crazy. Paula, I can sense it. There you are.
This is Virginia Giuffre. A list. This is one of the things that she had. A list of potential witnesses filed by Giuffre's legal team included investor Ron Burkle, as well as Clinton, and the former president's aide, Doug Band, who were said to have traveled with Epstein and Maxwell in a list of relevant documents. Robert's team listed all photos of Ghislaine Maxwell at Chelsea Clinton's wedding.
Why don't they just show the list?
They won't. There's no list. I don't even know why Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail. But there's a thing that's very more sinister. I mean, to me, it's incredible that, because from the information I got, and I've been very hesitant to talk about it, but I am going to talk about it. It's the fact that apparently Meghan Markle was texting Virginia Roberts up until March, and they were supposed to meet in New York. But she never spoke to Virginia. It was only text messages.
I'll say this to you. I don't think any conversations with Virginia between November last year until her passing, I don't know how we can say that we can confirm 100% that was Virginia. Because she went from talking voice notes and calls to people that I know that have worked with her and spoken to her. Some people on social media, some people, it extends further than that. But they cannot give me anything more than text conversations or DMs or anything.
But wait a minute. Don't you remember that when we were asking for proof of life, then there came this reporter from the Daily Mail who said that was Virginia with her brother, and we dissected that photo and said that can't be her because she looks heavier.
I'm not buying any of the official reports. I'm not buying anything her brother said. I'm not buying anything his brother's wife said. I'm not buying any of it. It's nonsense. If I'm expected to believe that 1 minute, and again, here's the thing. There was no bus crash. She was not in hospital. She didn't leave hospital. She didn't go into hospital. If she did, somebody would have seen it. Somebody, anybody, somebody, okay? The bus driver had to make a formal statement because he didn't want to get in trouble with his job, because they would have thought that there was some sort of insurance thing to be dealing with, going by what Virginia had said. But then we get eyewitness testimony that there was only one person in the car. It was a mild crash that there was so insignificant they never even exchanged information. Okay? And the bus driver is a former EMT. So, Paula, I applied the logic of the courts to this. And police and firemen and EMTs and doctors are seen as great witnesses. Same as lawyers and things like this, because they're seen as better sources of information than, say, a homeless guy or someone with mental health or anything like that. So I'm going to take his word. I'm going to take his word on this. I'm going to take his word on it that he threat assessed when he got out of the bus and went, right, is there any dogs or babies or passengers in this vehicle? Scanned the vehicle. No, just one crazy woman in her mid-70s who was working as a farmhand or whatever it was. It's nonsense. It's shenanigans. It's
no. I mean, for me, it's the thing that Meghan was texting with her up until mid-March.
Yep.
That's what threw me off, because I have seen some of the text messages. And it's like, and then, and then I remember, because I've forgotten about that article that we talked about, that Virginia wanted to call her as a witness, right? And then I'm like, wait a minute. Then Ron Burkle, and then Diddy, and Meghan Markle. You know how unfamous Meghan Markle was in 2015? I can pull up that article.
Yeah, she
was so unfamous, so unknown. 2015, she was flown specially from wherever the hell she was in Canada to Istanbul for the opening of the Soho House. Okay, for the weekend, just to be a carpet filler. And then they took a picture of her and this girl Imbruglia, I think they're singers, and they named her as a guest, because they didn't even know her name. I have the article here. This is how unknown Meghan, and this is 2015, before she met Markle. Istanbul. Let me see. It says Snap. It shows here Snap. Resurface show Meghan Markle at Soho House before they partied at a club. I mean, she was there as a carpet filler, and nobody knew who she was. And I mean, and then this girl was saying, like, nobody knows Meghan Markle isn't. Nobody knew who she was, and that this woman did this article that she was named as guest. I'll show you. Here's the article. I have it here for you, so you can read. This is in 2015, when she's supposed to be this multimillionaire famous woman. I have it here. Where's that shit? Don't tell me that they removed that bloody article. Here it is. Girl About Town. Never before seen photo of Meghan Markle shows it wasn't a long ago. She was an unnamed guest at showbiz parties. That's the picture of her. She's there with Meghan Markle, and at the end, and they have to point out at the end, with a group at a party in 2015, where she was simply guest. She was hired by Soho House to be entertaining VIP guys. This is an actor I know. And it was her life as a lesser known TV actress may seem like a distant dream, but as never before seen picture right of Meghan Markle proves it was not long ago that she was so unfamous. She was simply described as an unnamed guest in post photos at showbiz parties. Okay. And she says, only a year before becoming one of the most famous women in the world as Prince Harry's girlfriend, Meghan, 35, was drafted in to walk the red carpet, among other things, at Soho House, Istanbul's opening party. She posed alongside a group that included singers, Paloma Faith.
Paloma Faith's pretty, like, she's a megastar.
Sophie Ellis Bextor.
She's fell off a little bit.
All were named in the picture except Meghan, who was just another guest.
Wow. Go back up to that picture, Meghan. Go back up. Honestly, she's mad. The one time she's got something ironed on. Yeah. The one time. Soon as she became anything close to a royal, bosh, the iron got thrown out. Man.
She's not in the middle. She always have to be in the middle taking the picture.
No, she's a teapot's handle on this occasion.
That's her old nose.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
No, look at you can see it. That's her old nose.
Listen, as long as the toes are kept away, then we're fine. She's.
Don't start talking about Godzilla, because it will just magically appear.
And then I'll show you another one here. And this is another one here. This is of her with Eddie Redmayne here at Soho House, Istanbul, years before they partied at the club in Amsterdam, which is another thing that's very sneaky. because in 2018, 1 week prior to Eugenie's wedding in October, where she announced that she was 3 months pregnant, she had gone to an Amsterdam at a Soho House party in Amsterdam, and she was drinking wine and all kinds of alcohol. So I don't know how she could have been 3 months pregnant and announced it at Eugenie's.
You slap the word Istanbul at the end of anything, and I feel like someone's replacing the Grey Goose at the bar with Smirnoff. I just feel
this is Meghan Markle. This is Meghan Markle. Okay, this is with Eddie Redmayne. She was not in the center, as you can see. She's trying to put herself in the center there. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, back in the day where you could actually smoke a cigarette somewhere. Look at that. That man is holding a cigarette. Wow,
Yeah.
Different time, man. Different time to be alive. Different
Yeah.
time. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is, and then she's there when she was trying to audition for Made in Chelsea. This is at the Soho farmhouse back in 2016, before, you know, everything came out with Harry. But the interesting thing here is, like, why would Meghan Markle be texting to Virginia and the links to her, you know, and be called in as a witness? And then it's really interesting that Virginia unalives herself right about the time when all the list is going to disappear. And she was one of their most vocal people who could have
the poster
said
child,
no.
Paula. She's the poster child. She is the poster child for it all. Okay.
But this is what makes me wonder. This is the question I'm going to put to everybody here, Andrew and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Is Meghan Markle next? Because if Virginia Roberts was going to call her for Prince Andrew, that means that Meghan Markle was around other people as well.
What'd you say? What did you say?
It makes you wonder whether Meghan Markle was freaking out and texting Virginia because she felt that she could have been next or something was seriously wrong. Because if Virginia Roberts was calling her as a witness of not because she became a royal, which would make no sense. Why would you call Meghan Markle just because she just met Prince Andrew? But she's clearly, the lawyer says, because she was a close associate of Prince Andrew and was around their environment. So now Meghan Markle not only saw Prince Andrew, but she saw others as well. So I wonder if that's why Meghan Markle was texting Virginia, and if there was some sort of worry going on, and if Meghan Markle is going to be next.
I'll be honest with you. It would kind of explain the mad behavior to keep yourself in the public eye that Meghan is becoming renowned for. As long as I'm doing stupid stuff,
I mean,
no
what do you
one
guys
can
think?
take me out of the game.
I mean, what do you guys think? Because I mean, Virginia Roberts, they were very clear that it wasn't because why would you call somebody who just got married into the royal family? It doesn't make sense. She was calling Fergie as well and Prince Charles as witnesses.
1 second, everyone. That's Julia phoning me. I'll be right back.
I mean, what do you guys think? What do you
It's a
think,
lot.
Andrew?
It's a lot. I mean, I don't know about next, but I know the one thing that can be for certain, she was in those circles. She was connected to those people. And there's really no defending that. Like I said, you have the photos, Paula. You know, there's photos of Meghan with that woman, and then there's photos of that woman with Epstein. And like, this is a for sure that she was associated with those people. But as far as next, that's a lot.
I think she's too high on the totem pole to be next. She
Yeah.
knows too much, right? Like, I think she's too high up. That's my opinion. Do I think she knows stuff? Oh yeah, no, she knows stuff. And maybe, like, you got to keep someone around, right? So,
You know, and maybe that's what they were saying about security when they kept on saying that they're afraid for their lives. Maybe that's why, because of the circles that Meghan was running in.
Yeah, but you know, if they're cleaning up house, Meghan is not really that high up in the totem pole. You know what I mean?
She's the prince's wife. Call girl. See,
Yeah.
right there. There it is, right there.
Yeah,
See,
and I
this is
want
the
to
woman right there.
stress that Karina Shuliak was the last girlfriend that Epstein had when he allegedly unalived himself, and she's on record saying that the only times she was on a yacht or in a plane was with Jeffrey Epstein, her boyfriend. And there's Meghan Markle. That's Misha Nunu right there. And then there's Karina Shuliak. I have another picture as well, because I'm going to show you this. I don't know if you guys know this Deepak Chopra kind of guy. I'm going to show you, who was very good friends with, what's his name? With Epstein as well. And remember when Meghan Markle did the 40 by 40 that nobody did really? When she turned 40, she said, I'll do 40 by 40. Remember that, guys?
I do. I know what you're talking about.
That she asked celebrities to donate 40 minutes of their time to mentor women, which really, what would 40 minutes mean? It wouldn't mean anything. But, you know,
stupid.
I mean, and this is what Deepak Chopra wrote. He posted a tweet and said, to my dear friend Meghan, and now we know that Deepak Chopra was incredibly tight and was in those places with, what's his name, with Mr. Epstein. So, I mean, make of that what you will, but to me, that's very sus. I'm just trying to find the picture, but I'm going to show you another picture in the meantime while I'll find the other one. This is them in the Mediterranean. They stopped to eat lunch here. Maybe Ron can share it.
He said he went to the mail.
Oh, he went to well, when he comes back, I'm going to have him share that, because there's pictures there of I have the picture of them eating at a restaurant, because they stopped all over the Mediterranean, right? And then I have the tweet of the guy who was saying, Meghan Markle, are you free for the week for Croatia?
Mm-hmm.
You know, for yachting. We have the guy on the hot Miami yachts that he yachted with Meghan Markle. I don't know if you guys have seen that show, Hot Miami Yacht. And there's the guy who's a yachter. He's gay. It's called Hot Miami Yachts. And he says, I yachted with her. I was going to have him on my show. And he actually showed me pictures. And then suddenly he went off the radar, and I received an email from a lawyer saying, please do not show those pictures. He's not going to come on the show. And yeah, just forget everything he said. So I didn't have him. And I made a big deal about it. This is why I no longer announce the guests I have, because then, you know, then as soon as I announce them, they lawyer up and then they don't come to the show. So I said, fuck it. I said, fudge it. I'm not going to announce anything because, yeah, you know, so he yachted with her. It's called Hot Miami Yachts, and look for it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the guy, I think his name is Simon something. I have the emails from him, but then the last email I got was from his lawyer. So I just can't post it anymore. So, because, you know, he said that I can't. And the pictures that I have of him and Meghan yachting and stuff like that, I can't show.
Okay, are the images that I've got the circles?
There's 2 images, yes.
I'll put
But
the one
you can
with the
pull any of them. Pull the one with the circles. That is Karina Shuliak, and the other one is Meghan Markle.
Who's Karina Shuliak again?
Is Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend.
Brilliant. Fantastic. That is not suspicious at all.
She started dating him in 2014, and she's gone on the record saying that the only time she's been on yachts, cruising, or in airplanes is with Jeffrey.
Wow.
Okay. Now, Deepak Chopra is a guy that's very close friends with Jeffrey. Yeah, that's the other picture that I'm showing you.
Okay, hang on.
That one. So when Meghan Markle did her 40 by 40, when she turned 40, she said, donate 40 minutes of your time to mentor a woman entering back into a workforce, right? So it says, to celebrate the 40th birthday, this is his actual tweet of my friend Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. I'm donating 40 minutes of mentorship to a woman re-entering the workforce. Will you join me? And if
Did
you
they
see the
do
picture,
it?
I don't know.
Wait. What the? This is weird. This is spicy. This is like draw the curtains and look out for red sniper dot stuff. This, Paula.
I've talked about this in my channel a long time ago.
Yeah.
I even had the 4 pictures of the video I can show you the video of mine that I can't even download because I have the flight logs. And what I did is I had it on PDF. I turned them into PDF so it wouldn't disappear. So I can literally read all the names that suddenly became FOIA. I have them saved as PDF files. And then as a PDF, but they took down my video completely. They took down my video completely. I can't even go into my video, YouTube. I can't even go into my video and see my own video. Because they said that that information that I have there was FOIA had become classified.
Oh.
And they said it as community guidelines. And I'm saying, but wait a minute, at the time when I published my video, those logs, those flight logs were with Prince Charles in November 2001. Camilla with her sister going to the island in 2001. Other Prince of Saudi Arabia, because I have all their names and the dates and everything. Because the only thing you can't see is the names, but you can see the locations where they're going and stuff like that, right? But they removed the names, and now they have FOIA. And then I had the 4 pictures of Meghan Markle inside. One of them was inside, and I know that is Jeffrey because she's pointing at the painting of Bill Clinton with a blue dress. She's kind of mocking it, and you can see Misha Nunu walking behind her, like trying to duck herself, and because she didn't want to interrupt where the painting was, right? And then there's another picture of Meghan Markle with Ron Burkle. There's another picture with Meghan Markle with Harvey Weinstein and Ron Burkle. Don't forget that Meghan Markle used to go to the Marchesa. And I wonder, why was this woman be going to the Marchesa, Harvey Weinstein's wife, fashion shows? She was a nobody. And yet she spent all this time in New York, and she went to different Marchesa shows with, Harvey Weinstein's things. And we have anti-lawyer who posted that tweet that said that Harvey Weinstein was laughing when Prince Harry married Meghan because apparently.
Well, yeah. This is wild. Right, guys, at this point, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you share this out. Paula dropping the truth bombs.
Yes, Janet Dalton. Yes, it's in page 55. I even know the page number. I can show you the thing, and now we can show it because now they delete it, and I can show you I sent it to you, Ron, and we even showed it once here. But now the names are FOIA, and not only Charles, but Camilla, November 2001.
And many people, hang on a second. Many people were on the lists. There is no lists. Did you not hear the announcement, mate? There's no list. There can't be people on a list that weren't perverts if there's no list, okay? And yeah, I'm sure there was people that went to the island for legitimate business. Absolutely. It's just after the business deals happened, they all went with a bunch of kids. I'm not denying that there was legitimate business deals, but why would you fly? Why is any businessman taking time out of their day to fly to an island to do a business deal? Are you having a laugh? Like that's movie stuff. Okay, that's movie stuff. All right, they've got their own islands. Okay, they don't like no one's doing that. Right? It's not happening. So trust me, if people are going to that island, it's not for anything good at all. I'm not buying it. For a start, the man was a convicted PDF multiple years ago. Why is anyone getting involved or going to the private island of the man who was already charged with doing terrible things to an underage girl?
I mean, I can show you this. This is now the one that you're allowed to show because it has the FOIA, and I can show you exactly the trip here. It has is this one right here.
Can we show this though?
You can. This is the one that you can show because it's legal now. It all has FOIA, but the one I have has all the names because I downloaded as a PDF file, so you can't. But this is the one that now.
This is the list that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, this is the flight logs. This is the approved flight log list release. Yeah.
Hang on, I can't figure out what I'm doing here. There we go.
That one. So if you look at this is, for example,
we've shown this before.
Yeah, but this is, for example, this is just one. This is so you know, this is the ID of the plane. the flight number and stuff like that. And here you're gonna see, because it starts from actually from here. See, it's that. It's 11/26/2001. It tells you that this is the license plate of the plane, so you know it's Jeffries, right? You know that they have a tail number. That's the one, okay? And it tells you the date, 11/26/2001. It tells you the airport where it flies from, in London, England. Then they go to Westchester, and then it tells you one passenger, and then you have the names. But these ones here are the ones that have been removed. These ones are from London, England to Westchester County, New York, and from Birmingham in England to New York. And now the names are gone. This is November 26, 2001. And
it's a flight log. It's a flight log. It might look like a list, okay? And by all accounts, to a normal person, this could assume to be a list, but we'll call it a flight log. Okay. I wonder what the other. I wonder if we'll get I wonder if we'll ever get told that there was no client list. There was just like a super best friend list.
Yeah. So this one is this one. This is Prince Charles and Camilla, and the number of people here are 12 on the first one and 12 on the second one. And then they went on a different plane to the island. And then you'll see here, you're going to get a lot of FOIA. Like, I mean, it's up until 2000 and something. But you'll get now a lot of FOIA. You have Bill Clinton. Here's Bill Clinton. You see, this is Bill Clinton. And it tells you he had one passenger, and you have there, for example, when he went to Namibia. I mean, he used it a lot. He went with, what's his name? Chris Rock. No, not Chris Rock. Which is the guy that did the movie with, that I really like him.
Chris Tucker.
That they went everywhere. They were in the United Kingdom. Kevin Spacey, everybody's there. They went in Paris, France, and they had the names of everybody. For example, you have 4 Secret Service here for Bill Clinton, you know. APPA, that's Prince Andrew, apparently, you know. So you have a lot of that, you know.
Well, you don't have anything with Trump's name on it.
Well, Trump appears once, and it's a flight between West Palm Beach to Vegas. Him and Ivanka.
Trump's never really denied it.
You know,
no, he said, yeah,
he said he went on the plane one time.
Yeah, it was, and it was from, it is there. And it says there is Ivanka and their kids, and it says the number of passengers, and it was from West Palm Beach to there. But then you have all these people here, you know, and then you have all these celebrities going with him, and Ghislaine, you know, Jeffrey, and AP's Prince Andrew. Okay, so that's passenger 4. Only one time by accident they name him like Prince Andrew. You know, when they should have pinned like AP, right?
Yeah, why is it whenever I think of Trump traveling anywhere, do you remember Peter Griffin from Family Guy? I always imagine the same sort of vehicles that Peter Griffin comes up with in Family Guy. Like, instead of having Air Force One, Trump just has a huge helicopter, and on top of the helicopter is Trump's hairdo. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that, that to me is a sort of fitting madness of this man. But I'm very disappointed, Trump, I have to say. I'm not a citizen of your country or anything like that, but man, you really had us going there.
He once said he was going to release the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a better option than the other one. This is way less of a disaster than Kamala Harris would have been.
Yeah, for example, this one right here, I know who it is. This is from Jacksonville. Here. Now the ones that are FOIA, you're going to start seeing a lot of FOIA, no records, you know, FOIA. So I know who this is, as flying from West Palm Beach to New York, and from New York to Charlotte, to the Virgin Islands, right? But you're going to see a lot of FOIA. You're going to see Bill Clinton quite a lot. Here, Bill Clinton, see? Bill Clinton, Doug Ban. Remember that guy, Doug Ban, who was his advisor? You know, and he's going here. It's New York State, London, England. You know, you can see everything. I mean, so it is Bill Clinton, London, England to New York, you know, with Doug Ban, that really weird guy with 10 Secret Service, London, England to New York. So it was going a lot to New York. You know what I mean? It's
unreal that we're just expected to swallow this down.
Yeah.
And it's going to be real interesting. But I'll say something, Paula. I put this to everybody, and I put this to the panel as well. I feel like this felt like a panic move.
Yeah, Trump is not really famous right now. He's not a famous person over here in the United States. I can tell you that much.
Well, I mean,
like all of these are Bill Clinton here. Bill Clinton with a bunch of people. I mean, he went a lot with this guy. You know, so if they are able to put Bill Clinton, who is it that they're hiding? You know, you have to ask yourself, especially at the very end, because AP, that's Andrew Prince, and then as I said, that by mistake they put him there. Here they put this passenger. You know, like unknown. No, how can you not know who you're bringing on your plane, right? You have Virginia Roberts is right here. See? I actually did a video where I counted how many times Virginia Roberts appears there. And she went, and you can see, and it's amazing because a lot of times they would use the names of the girls and then they would put, for example, here, Virginia Roberts, 2 passengers, but they don't name the other passenger, right? Sometimes it would be 4 passengers because legally they should have named all passengers, but sometimes you would put Virginia Roberts 4 passengers or 6 passengers, and that's it. You see?
Yeah, passengers is a great.
So they would name her. So it could have been, for example, Meghan Markle could have been there.
Of course it could.
You know, so yeah. So it's very interesting here because I just found it, you know, like yeah, it's very sad that all these men here, for example, this one here is from West Palm Beach to New York State, FOIA. Why? If you can have Bill Clinton, why won't you have this guy there? And they have no records. You have Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. You have even Naomi Campbell. I mean, you have really, and then you have Durkle. And here they put Ron Durkle, but it's actually Ron Burkle.
Burkle, yeah.
They put it by mistake.
Politica. That's kind of what
a hell of a way to hide his name.
That's kind of what POV was saying earlier. That maybe you know, Politica is saying perhaps the list is out in the public and it's being used for America's benefit. You know, the more I think about it, the more
Trump is not as popular.
Well, you know, let's blackmail as many people as we can, fix America, slap some tariffs on. Once I leave office, I'll just slap it out on my social media platform that I've started, and I'll just fly off into the sunset. Trump era closed. I can actually.
You can see Ron.
He's not as popular as you think. Political cat.
Yeah, but you can see Ron Durkle a lot. You can see Ron Durkle a lot, which is actually Ron Burkle. And Bill Clinton, because they were going together, Ron Burkle, Bill Clinton, to Rwanda, Mozambique, and all of that, you know. And that's but you can see all of that. But I had all these flight logs. I had them, and now Kevin, for example, I have Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Jeff Epstein, Sarah Kellen, Cindy Lopez. So you have all of those people.
Him regret it. I'm talking to the side chat.
Yeah. And now here, see how these all start being FOIA right here?
Okay, yeah.
Because they're going to his ranch. They're going to his ranch. Don't forget that he had a ranch in Albuquerque, right? So, and then you have, but it doesn't make any sense at all, you know, for me, that they hide this. And I believe that Meghan Markle is linked somehow here. And I did a video where I showed when the carriage of Prince Harry and Meghan are you know how the royal family, the carriage passes in front of them and everybody's waving at them except Andrew.
Yeah, I remember that. I think
Andrew doesn't wave back at Meghan, and they just kind of look at each other, and then Meghan is just smug, smiling.
This was for our wedding, right?
Yeah, when they go on the horse carriage. Yes, exactly. So this is the list here, guys. You know, like, but it's up to up until I'm going to show you when up until, because this is not even up till 2019. You know, this is not even up to 2019. It's I believe it's up to 2004 or something like that. They don't have the list here. You see now the last pages, see? It's all FOIA. See that?
Okay.
And the last date for that is 2015. It's 2015. You see that?
Sorry, Andrew, you said the FYI was what? Freedom of information.
FOIA means freedom of information request.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, the last one is 2015. Don't forget he was arrested in 2019. But like, I mean, look at this. This is FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. And I have it on a PDF because I downloaded this when it had all the names. So I know everybody who's there.
So you got the list.
I got the list, but this is why my video was taken down.
No. This is the flight log. Okay.
Oh no, I got the flight log with the names of everybody up until 2015.
But they definitely weren't clients, Paula. Okay.
No. But look at this. But look at the last pages. Look at the last pages.
You certainly wouldn't call anyone using the service of a private jet a client at all. Okay. This is just his chums. His wee chum list. That's what it is. It's not even a list. It's a collective gathering of words that represent people put in order on paper, not a list.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a list.
It's just the flight logs. It's just the flight logs, you know?
I swear to God, I just want to find an Epstein like cave painting where all the names are. And the Trumps were like, look, it wasn't a list. It was an intricate cave painting that we found in a tunnel. Okay. He was an eccentric man. No,
but I really do believe from everything that I saw. But now look, this is now FOIA. And then from 2015 till 2019 when he was arrested, they're gone.
Can I just get ahead of the trolls as well? At no point has Paula come on the show and said, I have the Epstein client list and has put up the flight log saying that's the Epstein client list. I'm just getting ahead of anyone in the comments. That was the flight list. That was the flight log.
That's what I said, though. I said it repeatedly, said flight log.
That's been out for a long time.
It doesn't matter, Paula. I'm just getting ahead of it. So that the mods can then timestamp me saying this and then post it in the comments of the people who are leaving those comments because they're going to leave those comments because that's how the internet is. So fun, like and subscribe. What else can we throw out of this?
No, but I mean, what do you guys think of that? Because
what's going on with the gruesome twosome?
Oh no, not yet. Hang on a minute. Hang on one second, Letitia. 1 second. In fact, Letitia, let's hear your thoughts on it all because the list being denied, right? And obviously what Paula's thrown in about Meghan and Virginia, it paints a very new impression of the Trump administration, right? So what was your reaction when you heard about the announcement of the client list and all of that?
I thought it was a cover up immediately, especially with the with Epstein unaliving himself in the jail cell. I don't think that was true. I think he was. And I also think they're trying to hide. I think Donald Trump is trying to hide his name.
I'll be right back.
I really do. I believe that he said he was going to bring out the list. Now there's no list. What the hell? What are we supposed to believe?
Well, but you got to remember as well, we also had Elon Musk tweeting that Trump's on the list, and that's why he's not showing the list, right? So, and then you have Kash Patel going on the frickin' Joe Rogan podcast and being like, oh, hi, this is something that the head of the FBI totally does. Not like, I'm not just talking about podcasts. Like, when have you ever seen the current head of the FBI, the CIA, MI5, MI6, any of these places anywhere up until this year, until Kash Patel, the Under Armour wearing, totally relatable dude of the FBI. He's the top dog in the FBI, bro. This This is like some little guy. This is like the top dog.
Exactly.
It's bonkers. It's bonkers, right? Paula's whipping out some more screens here. Let's see what we got here.
This is the radar thing that came out. The brutal reasons Meghan Markle has now been abandoned by her mom again after Duchess begged, "Don't leave me." Meghan Markle howled, "Don't leave me," as her mother, Doria Ragland, moved out of her and her henpecked husband, Prince Harry's Montecito mansion. Radar Online can reveal the departure came after Diva Duchess Markle used her mom to care for her kids, and sources tell us even her own mother got sick of her. Constant moaning and drama, she had to flee the luxury home. Insiders say Ragland's departure has left Markle 43 and Prince Harry 40 struggling to adjust without her. No more drama.
Wait a minute, Paula. First of all, her mom didn't want to keep her as a child. So why would she want to keep her own kids? Keep Meghan's kids for her. She probably was using her to keep those kids while she go out of town. But Meghan says she has a nanny. You believe that Doria has left the building? I do.
I think Doria sold the store to Radar Online.
That's even better.
Money. I'm just saying, that's where all the housewives go.
What do you think, Andrew?
Oh, Andrew stepped away for a minute.
Oh, okay. I mean, make no mistake, because Meghan Markle wouldn't want people to know this. I mean, she uses Doria. Doria is a real black card.
Oh, yeah, that's her card right there.
You know?
Because I mean, her black.
There's only so much orange Meghan can put on her face, you know, because, you know, because she so gets orange. Bronzer, you know, like there's only so much bronzer she can put on before she looks orange. She doesn't look black, she looks orange because she's not black. But
Paula, do you really think Meghan cares that her mother left? She's so narcissistic that
if she ran out with the money, yeah. If the bank account that I talked about yesterday is in Doria's name and she's emptied that bank account, I would think that she'd be upset. I mean, I don't know about you guys,
I would actually love it if it turns out that Doria's like ran off with £5 million and we don't hear from her for the next 10 years. And then she pops up in some mad news story. She's like moved to some little island somewhere, met some eccentric old dude that's moved out there. And then we never hear from her again. Like I would love to see some crazy story like that. I would much rather Doria runs off with 5 million than Meghan. Right, let's be honest. And I'm not fond of either of these people.
That ain't enough money for Meghan. Yeah. Meghan will run out of that in a week.
Did you see that, Andrew? The brutal reason Meghan Markle has now been abandoned by her mom after Duchess begged, "Don't leave me." This is Doria Ragland. This is Radar Online. You know, it's like
that this woman, it feels weird with these two people because they're the same person, and we know that Doria is really bad. But Meghan, the last time I heard, Paula, I thought you said that Meghan was like, what is it, asking her for money and shit from like rent and stuff.
Wow.
Who is asking me for rent?
Because she lives there. She lived there in the back of the house at the guest house.
Well, at the guest house, at the mansion, at that falling apart mansion because they don't have any money to, you know. And that documentary, because I loved in the new documentary, you guys, you know how many times I've done the math, how many times I've done videos doing the math of how much Harry actually was worth when he left the royal family. And I've said it very plain. I said that when Princess Diana died, she was worth, with jewelry included, 15 million pounds. Don't forget that Harry and William did pay taxes for inheritance taxes, which is almost between 30 and 40%. Princess Diana's will, she left 3.4 million to her 6 godchildren, right, in cash. So, and she only had like 7 or 8 million pounds, and were left to Harry after 8 million pounds after tax, because they had to pay death tax, right? And then the jewelry, of course, you know, and 3.6 million pounds or 3.4 million pounds she left for her godchildren. And then it got split in two. And then I said that even with inflation and great investment, Harry would have been worth at most 10 million pounds, 10, 11. And I was even generous. I said at most $20 million. I didn't understand why people were saying that he was worth $60 million. And now in this documentary, they verify that Harry only had $14 million from his mother. And then they try to add the $5 million from Meghan. I'm like, where did she get $5 million?
How can it be out of all that money with
No, they said that they used it to buy the house.
Okay.
Right? But then they said that they put down $9 million and then the rest is mortgage. Meghan wasn't worth $5 million.
Really? They put $9 million down on a $14 million?
Yeah, and they pay about $200,000 a month on mortgage plus the $2
That's
million.
it. Oh,
I'm gonna say. Why is it sick to discuss someone's skin color? I'm sorry.
Because her skin color changes whenever she tends to be around black people.
Is this the woke movement coming in here? I'm sorry.
No, it's not only that. You should be sick that Meghan. Wait a minute. Let me back up the truck here. Let me please address this for 1 second.
Yeah, go for it.
I am sick and tired of this BS because you should be more offended that a white woman is badly black facing or orange facing herself in order to appear more ethnic, in order to fool black people and people who actually struggle. You should be more offended by that because that's what we're talking about.
I was told that if I wanted to dress up as a Kit Kat for Halloween and I couldn't paint my face black to poke it through the chocolate bit, if that's the world it's a biscuit. It's a biscuit. Okay? If that's the world we live in, then I'm sorry. Now, we can talk about skin color. I'm sorry. White people are allowed to talk about things if the people that they're talking about are different colors than them. It's 2025, people.
Meghan Markle is whiter than me, guys. Meghan Markle is whiter than me, whiter than you, Andrew.
Million.
Freaking
I think she's even whiter than Heather. She's just not as blonde, you know.
No, it's true, Ron. Go and look at Meghan 3 months ago, and then go and look at her on the podcast with that black woman about the what is it called? The last podcast that she did, she literally went to go tan hardcore, and she was doing it with an actual black.
Oh,
woman.
that Emma Grady.
Yeah, that girl. And when you put the photos side by side, you can see that she literally went to go tan. And it's not because they're indoors. It's not because of any of that. She doesn't. She did the same thing when she went to Nigeria. She knew she was going to be around Africans, so she tanned her skin. And then when you see her come out, when was the time she was real light? There was once when she hadn't tanned for a long time, probably because she hadn't came out of the house.
She hadn't sprayed tan.
Yeah, she hadn't spray tan, and it was one of her appearances, and you're like, damn, that's not even the same person.
Every time I imagine me getting a spray tan, I imagine everything that could go wrong with a spray tan happening to my spray tan. Not that I would get a spray tan, because I imagine it would be a disaster. But did you ever see that episode of Friends where Ross completely screwed it up? That stays in my memory. That's the sort of thing that would happen to me. Like, I'd be the one guy that only gets 4 layers of tan on one side of the top half of his body. That would be me, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like, so people now, we are talking about it because this woman is literally, she even said herself, she's never been treated like a black woman. Remember when she said that?
Mm-hmm. Only when she
I'll be honest. Meghan Markle is the only person where we've actually had a serious debate about how Black America and white America feel about her picking, like, shopping and changing sides, and it was never something I ever paid attention until it was brought up.
Yeah, but she also said, Ron, in the podcast recently, she said that they wouldn't hire her because of her skin color. So all these people in the comments bitching when you're saying, why is her skin color a topic of conversation? Because she's the one that fucking said it. We're not just sitting here doing it. She literally said, oh, my freckles. I couldn't get a job because of my freckles. If you go to models with freckles on Google, there's tons of models with freckles on Google. You know,
that falls under special talent too, under like on your roster. Freckles is like a special talent.
Listen, we've got another one here. So, Reese, as a black woman, move on about her skin color. I'm sorry. What is the problem discussing a black person's skin color? Are we being disrespectful? No, we're
She's not black. She's biracial. And let me show you a picture here.
We're discussing their comments of their own skin.
Look what LaTanya said. She thought she was all white. If you go and look at all the movie roles that Meghan's ever done, see, look, even damn, I saw a photo today of this woman of Moroni. Damn, that's really tan. These chicks tan.
And I reserve the right to criticize anyone.
And Jessica Mulroney's incredibly white. And this is after they both came back from a holiday. And Jessica Mulroney's more tan than Meghan Markle. They came back from one of them holidays.
What's happened to me?
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, me. Hi, guys. Bonjour from Paris.
Bonjour from Paris. How are you?
Oui.
It's my last day being 29 tomorrow. I turn 30, so.
Oh, hell
yeah. Big 3-0.
It's all downhill from there.
I was literally having an existential crisis, crying at the bar, thinking about it. But everybody was nice, and they're like, "You're so young." So.
Hell yeah.
Shed a tear too when I turned 30.
Yeah,
I love turning 30. I'm showing you a picture of Meghan Markle and Jessica Mulroney. You can show it there.
God, that's funny. Right. Yeah. I'll put it up now. Yeah, I'll put it now. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's Meghan Markle and Jessica Mulroney. Jessica Mulroney is white as they come.
Yeah, that one right there. Look at that compared to the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the photo from that same event.
So
really see how
just to throw it back into the side chat. So as a white guy, right, am I not allowed to comment on anything? Is that what you're saying? Because that to me is your own passive.
Look at her here. Look at her here.
You're trying to enforce your own passive racism onto me, and I'm not going to have it. Side chat or chat.
Look at her here. Look at her here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're bonkers if you think you're pulling out the. Oh, can we move on from her skin tone? Which skin tone are we talking about? Which what are we talking about? Are we talking about the African? Which one are we talking about?
I'll show you one that's even sicker. Okay, you're gonna see here Meghan Markle, One World speech. You're gonna see this woman here.
The link in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
This woman, it's like, forget Donald Trump. This woman is like,
yeah.
Look at her. I mean, guys, you're gonna see her face here. I mean, if it's not, look at that.
And listen, we all know the golden rule, okay? That if you're going to a hot country, you try and lay down a base tan before you go. Okay, I'm the same. I'm from Scotland. I'm going on holiday. I'm going to lay down a little bit of a base tan. But I'll be honest, Paula was the one a long time ago that pointed out this debate, and then Lady Letitia brought it to the table as well, obviously talking about how black women in America feel about Meghan Markle and this, that, and the next thing. And then watching this woman use... But then I think I did actually ask the question of if you're mixed race, what's the problem in embracing both sides, right? But I think there's embracing both sides, and then there's almost, but in saying that, is it wrong to use what you have to? It's a very interesting point of discussion.
But the thing is, though, that is racist. One of the problems that people have with Meghan Markle's heritage is because they applied the one-drop rule. You know that until 1871 in Virginia, if you had three white grandparents and one black grandparent, you were considered black. So they denied completely. You were biracial.
Yeah, I don't know what the one-drop rule is. All I know is
I'm saying that up until 1871 in Virginia, if you had three white grandparents and one black grandparent, you were considered black. And the other part of, I've had this conversation with Pedina because her children are mixed race. And I said, when your children, if you identify your children legally as black, that's denying, that makes the heritage harder to read, because they should be considered biracial, because then people say, okay, they're biracial.
Yeah, I mean, but even with Paula, with what she's saying about the one-drop rule, it's true. I mean, there's people who, once upon a time, there was so-called anti-miscegenation laws where, like, literally, if you had one black grandparent and everybody else was white, that one black great-grandparent from wherever it was like you were black, and they were like, you can't marry a,
Exactly.
I
yeah,
have
you
that.
can't
I
marry
got,
a white
I got
see,
woman.
black family in
Ron,
Iowa. I'm
yeah,
black.
Ron's not.
Are you black?
Ron-
Oh, there you go. You can talk
I
crap.
do.
Megan.
My dad told me we have black
See,
family in Iowa. Yeah,
yeah, Ron.
if
Ron.
you're
Ron's,
considered mixed or biracial, you tend
yeah.
to be black, correct?
Hey, one drop rule, Letitia.
Yeah, I mean,
But
that was with the one
that's
drop
what
rule.
the men in Germany
Is
did,
that-
and that
is
is
that-
not right.
well,
That
it's
is not
kind of.
right.
I think
And
what you're
it's like,
talking about there is a different way of wording rules of the race war, right?
yeah, I mean, but
So when the
but
race
these
war
were
breaks
real,
out,
like,
You
when
look
the
like
race
me,
war
dude.
breaks out, you're going to have, if it's, blacks versus whites, and then everyone who's mixed race in the middle, guaranteed. None of the Nazis are claiming anyone who's mixed race. I'll tell you that right
Yeah,
now. So
no.
you've got all those people.
Can
They
you
ain't
even
claiming
say that
anything.
word?
I don't know. They ain't
Oh,
claiming
you're
that.
about to
Right?
get pulled down. You're about to
I'm
get
just-
pulled down.
I'm just saying the Nazis, man. You know what I'm saying though, right? If in race war rules, I'm not a racist person. It doesn't. I don't really get racism. I don't really get sexism. I don't really get like oppressing people in any way, right? I don't really understand why we can't
I know
discuss
the
culture.
political answer for that. It's
Well,
because
no,
you are all of
You
those
should be able
things.
to discuss culture.
No, but I like to discuss culture. I like to learn
I
things
love
about
it too.
Yeah,
uh,
you're not allowed to talk about it.
yeah, I
other
mean,
people.
you
I love
talking
it
about
though.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
doesn't make it
Do you see what I'm
racist.
saying? So
Yeah.
should I then get upset when I see an American getting married in a kilt?
What?
I
Should
mean,
I be getting
if-
upset when I
if
see an
you're-
American getting married in a kilt?
well, what
Because
type
what
of
the hell? What the
kilt?
hell?
Oh, okay.
What the hell
I
is
mean-
my national dress got to do with any of your special days? Nothing. It's cultural misappropriation, right? But when
but
it's
that's
white on
Braveheart,
when
then.
it's white on white crime, no one's interested, right?
But like, okay, for
Well, the same
example,
could
there
be
was
said
there
for
was a
black
there was
on
an
black.
African couple who really liked Indian clothes, and they were like in Kenya, and they got married and wore Indian clothes at the wedding, and all of the Indians in the comments were like, "Why are you wearing a sari
Wow.
and the male equivalent of a
Mhm.
sari at your wedding?"
So
And people were like, "Oh, they just like the clothes," but they're like,
here's,
"Okay, but
here's a
these are our
slightly
cultural clothes."
here's a slightly less popular one. When people from certain parts of the world comment on white people having dreadlocks, they're definitely not dreadlocks. They're manky hair snakes that white people convince themselves are dreadlocks, right? So should I then culturally claim back straight hair for my people? Should no woman in the world who is born with lustrous, thick African hair be allowed to straighten their hair because it's cultural misappropriation?
Hell,
Like,
I remember when I did a perm back in high school, and it turned out pretty badly. What does that mean? Like, I mean, that was really horrible. Can you show this video that I'm showing you? And I want people to listen to Meghan Markle, because at no point did she ever address being black. I'm showing you a video.
Mm.
It's a little clip. She's in Ireland here.
I'm just saying we can very, very proactively discuss a lot of things as a community and as a world populace. But when people hear a terminology or the
Well, you gotta
topic
talk
of
about the stuff you're
discussion,
not allowed to, you know?
the
That's what
people
makes it good.
freak
What do you
out.
mean we're
man.
not allowed to talk about? We can talk about anything.
I don't think anything should be off limits, because that's not really fair. Because how is it that, okay, for example, if I say white people this, white people that, yada yada, white people, and if you say black people, it's like, oh, wait a minute, red flag,
Right?
Stop. That's not right.
It's
You know,
crazy.
because
We have to talk about culture.
Oh yeah,
we're
but
all
exactly
also-
what you said there to me is
we're all
exactly.
also observers, right? And certain
Yeah.
stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, and just because you're observing something, that does not make you racist, right? So like there was a whole thing years ago about how like white people at work smile at you, or how white people smile at you when they're walking by, like in the hallway. There were black people who had like a discussion on the internet about how when white people are walking and they don't know you like that, they give this weird, very awkward smile, like, you know, that tight lip smile where it's like the high and by smile in the hallway. But like, am I supposed to smile like you've been my best friend for 20 years when I don't know you? You know what I mean? So like, why is it that black people can sit there and talk about, oh yeah, did you notice that white people smile at us weird? in the hallways at work and wherever we're going, they give us that weird smile. But like, could it just be that you're observing that a stranger is not giving you a 100% effort into smiling because they literally don't know who you are? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you guys ever heard people talking about that?
It's not even a nervous thing. It's a cultural thing where we show a sign of endearment upon making eye contact with a stranger. That's how I would summarize. And I wouldn't even say it's a white person thing. I would just say it's a very British thing. 100%. Oh, but excuse me. Oh, yeah, blah, excuse me, blah, blah. It's very, a very, very British thing to give somebody. But yeah.
Show this part of this clip, and I want people to react to this. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
But this was my first stop once we landed here in Dublin. Now, of course, you are no stranger to Ireland. Well, although your family are, because you've got Irish descent. That's right. My dad's side of the family is Irish. So my first time here, and it's really thrilling. Sad I can't be here longer, but I'll have to come back.
So good.
Is this when she was with Rory McIlroy as well?
I thought she was 40% Nigeria.
This woman needs to be studied. I don't know how someone can have that much DNA in their body.
But do you know where she got the 40% Nigerian from? There was a woman who was a kind of pro Meghan, who in 2017 or 2018 wrote an article. I forgot what publication it's on. But she wrote an article about Meghan and talked about race. And the same woman actually,
I have it here. Georgina Lawton.
Yeah, she was like adopted or whatever, and then found out that. Yeah, she found out that one of her birth parents or someone she was adopted by white people, and then basically found out that she was 40% Nigerian.
I did that video. She wrote a book, it's called Raceless, and she was actually in Nicaragua when she found out that she was, here she is, Georgina Lawton, on exploring identity and erasure in her new memoir, because both her parents were white and she was not. And she asked her mom about it. Let me get you there here. Right. Let me see. Here, Georgina Lawton.
I would have asked her.
And then they have she talks about it. She talks about it.
Yeah.
They were both white. No, but that's not the one. I have the article because I did a whole video about her.
I'd be doing some tests.
Yeah. Wait.
I'm going to need a second opinion here as well.
Can I respond, guys? I want to respond to a comment real quick. Someone in the comments said, "What's the big deal? Is her father Irish or not? Weren't you people screeching about how she's biracial 5 minutes ago?" Listen, Dre. The point is that she says her father is Irish. Then she went to Malta and said her family was from Malta. Then she said, and then she refused to do a DNA test despite having Elle magazine fly her over there, saying that she was searching for her roots. But then she just turned it into like an article for the TIG or something about where to eat in Malta, right? And then at one point, she said her mother has Nigerian ancestry. But the thing about it is, because of slavery, the thing is, if you're in Nigeria, Nigerians mostly 99.9% will marry Nigerians. But if you are here in America, and
you must feel like a total bell end, mate, Dre. I'm sorry. You just got smashed to pieces.
Throughout all of slavery, right? Africans were mixing with white people, all these other different races that were here in America, right? And so you cannot have 100%. And plus, slaves were sent to different plantations, right? Families were broken apart and sold to other plantations. Some people got sent to the Caribbean. Some people got sent to wherever, right? So you cannot have. I have 100% South African ancestry because both of my parents are South African and married each other and had 2 South African, children, right? But if I marry someone of a different race, then whatever mixture they have in their blood will be passed on to my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So literally my parents came from South Africa, from South African soil, and all their ancestors, as far as I know, are South African. But on my mother's side, there are people who have her maiden name that also have her maiden name in China. So maybe far back somewhere, there could be some Chinese ancestry in my blood somewhere, who knows? But the thing about it is you cannot have someone who's been here since 1500 in America, where we are literally a melting pot, and be 100% of anything. Because unless you are off the Mayflower, British people marrying British people, you would not be 100% British. But even so, white people in America, there was the Dutch that came here, there were the French that came to the South in Louisiana, there were the Dutch people who went to Oregon, they were freaking people of all
Look,
parts of Europe who came here. So
it's only when white people discuss black people do we have to give these long drawn out analogies and
yeah. So yes,
for
Meghan
what
is
is happening.
I
biracial.
was in college
Yes,
one time.
yeah.
Like
Yes,
honestly,
Meghan-
it's just
yeah,
so
yeah.
dumb. So
Yeah,
Dre,
yes,
I'm
Meghan-
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes,
that
Meghan.
you had to bring
Sorry,
this up.
yes, Meghan is biracial, but no, she's not 48% Nigerian and the rest Irish.
No.
Yeah,
And this is the thing. I did a whole video. I actually hire a genealogist, and from the Ragland side of the family was a Scottish settler who went to the United States, a white one. He did something with a black slave, and the first Richard Ragland was born. And then he married a mulatto, which was already mixed, and then they had kids.
Yeah.
And then that kid married Mary, which was another white lady, because it's in there. So, you know, and this is only on the Ragland side. And then we have on the Johnson side, the other side of Doria's side. And then on Mr. Markle's side, everything is like that. But this is actually Georgina Lawton. And if you go to Meghan Markle, when she was on Nigerian, remember she was on stage, she talks about how she told her mother, how she found out, right? This is word for word Georgina Lawton, who wrote this book in 2021, and it was published in 2022. And that's when Meghan Markle came up with, and she was on a brilliantly hot Caribbean morning. She was in Nicaragua, where I am right now. As the first of the day, sunshine poured through the shutters of my tiny beachfront apartment, and she's talking I received the results of my third DNA test in a year. I looked at the window at the sparkling sea, very beautiful. She was in Corn Island, in the white sands of Corn Island, Nicaragua, guys. At 3,000, and then she goes, but that morning I had to confront my past and everything I left behind. And I had to tell my mom of my genetic news. I didn't know how she'd react. This is literally when Meghan Markle, and I urge you to go look at Meghan Markle. She was wearing a red dress on stage in Nigeria, and she's repeating how she told her mother about it, how she found out about it, right? Mm-hmm. And she says, I got the test results back. That literally word for word what Meghan Markle said. And then this is also what she says. What followed was a long stretch of silence, then finally a response. So what did it say? She said that Doria asked her. Well, I'm Nigerian. 43% actually. Literally, go watch that if it's still online, because I know that they delete most of the stuff now.
So she's telling Doria for the first time that she's 43% Nigeria.
Yeah, so that would mean that Doria, but she doesn't say which part of Nigeria, which tribe of Nigeria.
If Doria was 43% Nigerian, she would need to have a father who is from the soil of Nigeria, fresh off the boat. There's no way. There is absolutely no way in any way, shape, or form that someone who's a descendant of slaves in America is 100% anything. That's literally impossible.
It's literally up there with someone else's mod thinking they're going to tell me what to do. Okay. As I say it every single week, Snowflake, suck your mum. And yeah, thank you for being here. Please, please do so.
Yeah, that would only happen.
You guys are on like a totally different level of cursing than we are.
Doria would only
we're trying to behave. I mean,
Doria would only be 43% Nigerian if her father came from Nigeria, moved to America, right? Married a woman who is not Nigerian and had Doria.
No. Wait a minute, Dre. I think she read it wrong. It probably said 43% African. No,
she
said she's
43%
Nigerian.
She said Nigerian.
Oh, you calm the F down.
It was on her podcast. She put it on her podcast.
No, and it's also the book is called Raceless, and she found out she's 43% Nigerian.
Yeah,
and she confronted her mom by Facebook and by FaceTime, and the mother said, "I don't want to talk about it." And then she found out her mother had a one-night stand at a pub with a Nigerian man, and this is where she has a high percentage of Nigerian, because the guy was literally from Nigeria, and she even knows the tribe. She even names the tribe.
She's wow.
Yeah, and
both her parents were white.
Yeah, and then Meghan said she's 43% Nigerian and said it on her podcast to the woman from Insecure that she was talking to. That she was the lady
mimicking this one.
Yeah,
but what's really shocking is that none of the press questioned this. Nobody questions this crap. You know, like, and I did a video. I did done 4 videos where I showed she's at most, and this is being ultra generous. She's 10% black, but not from Nigeria, because there's so many mix of that. At most, you know, being very generous.
Yeah, and I mean, her black side of the family could have, you know, yes, they could have African ancestry, they could have Caribbean ancestry, they could have, obviously, they have white ancestry in them because Doria is not a 100% black looking person. And the funny part is that back in the days, Meghan
No,
Markle
it
would be
doesn't.
passing, so called passing. There was a time where black people who looked white enough literally would just move out of the South and claim to be white. And there's multiple movies about that whole saga. There's documentaries about it. So like, I don't know why this person Dre is getting their panties in a bunch, because literally Meghan Markle said it out of her own mouth. We have audio.
I'm going to go with
footage, you know?
quality of life. That's probably what it is. Quality of life, self-esteem issues. That's probably what's got Dre annoyed. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go for the low.
Yeah, but
blow.
that's Georgina Lawton, and that she published that book in 2021, and Meghan Markle in 2022. I believe she came up with this story. Literally, if you go to her, if you can still find, you know, when she did that communication and she showed up, that red dress where everybody's covered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
no.
heard it.
You know, it is upsetting to me. It is very upsetting to me when I see people. We can't talk about race. Why not? Meghan is. She's using it as a weapon.
Yeah, it's like
trust me. Ron's not somebody that just, if like, we're not just going to sit here and go on about skin tones and race if it didn't tie into what we were talking about. It's just because most of the people here on the panel are white. We've had to spend 40 minutes talking about the justifications of why it's okay for us to even mention it. Okay, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Shame on all of you in the chat who's made this happen. Thank you to everybody who actually supports people being able to discuss things. Don't be part of the problem, people. Don't push your passive racism onto me. I will shoot it down every single time. I am not the one for this.
No one
Thank you.
Talking about her color as being bad or anything in that particular space.
Also, Letitia, I wasn't referring to you as a white person either. I'm clearly, you were not one of the people I was including in that statement. Just before the side chat goes crazy and it's like, oh my God, does Letitia identify as a white woman? No. Okay. I'm just saying, just so we're clear. Carry on, Letitia. Before Snowflake.
My husband talk about culture all day long because of course he's white. Yeah. Okay, just a sec. You know, like I'll try to explain something to him and he'll explain something to me as we talk about the different in our cultures, because it's different. He's white and I'm black. So we have that conversation, and it's not taboo.
It's nothing. It's not bad. Yeah. It's not racist to talk about culture. Like I'm in Paris. I talk to French people about their culture all the time, and it's not racist.
It's wonderful.
They talk about Americans all the time. It's not racist. Racism is like, I don't like you because you're black, and I hate black people. That's racism. I hate you because you're white, and I'm never gonna like you. And don't sit next to me. Don't even breathe in my direction because I hate all white people. That's racism. If you say, "Oh yeah, you know, French people are different than British people because they X, Y, Z," how is that racist?
Anyone, I do believe though.
I think if there was to be people from Britain right now, they don't want to be affiliated with people from France. I know that people in Europe are really
nationalism.
about that kind of shit.
That's also nationalism. That's also nationalism. And the thing is also in America, we do that by state, right? When I tell people I'm from Texas, they give me a weird look.
Like, we're from Texas. I don't want to be affiliated with New York.
Yeah, or Oregonian. You know, they literally look at you crazy when you're like, yeah, I'm from Texas. Oh, did you like it over there? Yeah, I liked it. Oh.
Texas is awesome, man.
Like
if they
why would I not like Texas?
California is gonna fall off the face of the earth. Oh, damn. That sucks. I don't care.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those ones. Luckily, though, we all are pretty much fully developed adults with working brains in this community, and that's the positive always outweighs the negative here. So we're in the final minutes. We're in the final minutes of the show. If Ron wasn't going through the dark month, you would keep it running for a little bit longer. But I do believe Sean is going to be live any minute, and I want to make sure he has started beforehand. If any of you are want to suppress people because of the color of their skin, especially if you're non-white and feel like you want to oppress white people, there is somebody who's currently live on another channel, so I can imagine you can go and pop over there and get involved with the whole mainstream movement in America of turning all people against a certain other
And the
coat.
thing is
So,
that people
guys-
fail to see that we're all mixed race.
Jews.
At least I am. Maybe not you, Heather, but I am mixed race.
You said maybe not you. That was so
Yeah.
random.
What are you
I'm being racist.
Oh no, like no.
I'm being racist.
She was like,
because you
"What-
look
what
white.
do you
You look as white as Archie and Lily.
Oh,
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Quit picking
Heather.
on me.
You're just
So,
shooting at
guys,
him.
tomorrow-
Heather definitely wins. White is on the panel. 100%.
Ron, to be fair, you
Oh
She
no,
was just
Ron's
sitting
no,
there,
Ron's
and it
Ron's
just-
too wound up.
all
Ron's
over.
got like stress tan. Ron's got like a stress tan where there's just too much blood in his neck and head today.
Guys, for my birthday, I won $1 million. So if you could all get together and hit me with your 401ks and my PayPal, that would make my day.
No, to me, what we need to do is we need to figure out how to scam $2 off of 50 million people, right? If we
just
scam,
like the royal family does.
yeah, 100%.
Oh my
right?
What are
God.
you talking about? That happens every month when you get your storage.
Listen. I would feel really bad
99
stealing
cents.
$100 million off of 2 people, but stealing $2 off of 50 million people, I'm all right with that. That's only $2
that's
a
not
person.
That's what
Yeah,
happens.
100
That's
million.
not bad.
What would you rather do? Would you rather see me with
Well,
100
the
million?
royal family, people say, "Oh, what does it matter? They only
don't
pay.
go
We
there.
only pay $1.69 a year for the royal family." But then you have 86 million people.
Yeah, that
Multiply-
adds up.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I worked at a bank and I stole a penny from everybody or $1 from everybody who banked at freaking Bank of America, guess what? I'd be hella rich. So
Don't hire to me.
That actually happened in a movie.
Okay, well, listen, everybody. We have got Sean Atwood is live with Musk Bondi. Sorry. Charlie Robbins.
Ron, we have to do a video about what I sent you.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100. Paula, we need to be making some other content together.
thank you guys for telling me happy birthday. Thank you, Bunny.
Happy
happy
birthday to you, to me. Feliz cumpleaños.
Happy
Vamos.
birthday to yes, to me.
Feliz cumpleaños. Gratulere dagen to me. Feliz cumpleaños. Bon anniversaire.
So that's the ritual for the harvest queen, the harvest gods. We're getting near harvest time. We're gonna have to sacrifice someone for the harvest gods this
And
year.
Andrew,
I'm not
I'm
being
sorry, but
sacrificed,
I
bro.
didn't see your message before. But hit me up now. I know how to do the notifications on Snapchat, so now I get your messages.
For sure.
Oh my God, Paul on Snapchat. That's scary.
That's so funny. I haven't used
Someone
Snapchat in 10
go
years.
It took me
Snapchat.
5 days to learn how to do the notifications. How dare you?
Thank
It
you
was
guys for
worse when
telling
you
me
put me
happy
on
birthday.
Discord.
Love you
What
too,
the hell
mate.
was that?
2 more hours until I'm 30.
Yeah,
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, wow.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I keep telling myself that Jesus' ministry started at 30, and in 3 years, he changed the course of human history. So I'm not going to feel bad about turning 30 because I feel like my life is going to pop off at 30 finally. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, people should stop being so racially sensitive. You know, my Canadian buddies, they used to call me my little wetback friend. I never was angry at them. You know, like I was my little wetback. And it would never bother me because I know, and I would call them all kinds of names too, you know, but, you know, I mean, it's just done with love. People should just, you know, chill their
You
F out.
said
I'm sorry. I have no idea what is going on tonight. But yeah, listen, we've got Sean is live now, everybody. You should get shunted over there. And that is with Charlie Robinson going over the Trump, all of this stuff. So go and make sure you check it out. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow all the panel members. And we will see you all very, very, very soon. Trunks Jungle, please feel free to suck.
Go subscribe to Andrew.